All right, what's going on, everybody? I am the one, the only, the W-O-O-K-I-E, joined here by the normal cast of Misfits. What's up, Z?
Hey, here we are.
I mentioned you first today because you were first on my queue.
I think that's because we're a great alliance here, and you gave me some props today.
Oh, we got Drazcore. Hi, Drazcore.
Hello, guys.
We got the president of AABD himself, Dr. Sheep.
Yeah, Alliance is still bad.
We got you. We got you.
Out of the gate.
Right
Like,
out of
yep.
the gate. Let me get my name.
Hello, keyforge on that note. Man, all unicorns and rainbows. We got this.
That's right. Unicorns and rainbows. We've all put on a smile today, except for maybe Sheep. I don't know. It's been an interesting week. After a week of flurried excitement and intrigue. I don't know if we want to call it excitement. Anger, excitement, intrigue. A lot of things going on. We had a full week where little to nothing. Well, we can actually say nothing happened. The only news we got this week is that Keyforge Adventures is going to your local store. Which I thought we already knew. We already knew that.
No, Keyforge Adventures can go to your local store if they figure out how to buy it.
Yes.
Right. So there is something good here, even if you're not. Well, if you're interested in Keyforge Adventures, then that's good. If you're not interested in Keyforge Adventures, what this is them seeing, hey, do we know how to use the supply chain, and can we actually get product to stores? That is a good thing for them to test out before Winds of Exchange is ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, and what happens if the answer is no?
Well, I mean, even if you don't get it right the first time, right, then you learn from that. Right, you go again, right? So it's okay, in my mind, for them to not do this perfectly.
Keyforge deck prices soar due to supply chain issue.
Yep. The Sheep Shack is always open.
The Sheep Shack?
Is it? I thought you closed the Sheep Shack.
No, the Sheep Shack's single decks are not currently available, but I got sealed product.
Guys, you can still get cheap decks out there. I think you can get Worlds Collide for 40 something. You can get AOA for 20.
Nobody cares about AOA.
I bought it.
Sheep does. She just bought some.
Sheep's a whole different kind of animal.
And then I bought some more.
Yep. He's a whole different animal when he's like he likes to play decks that hurt him back physically.
I guess someone bought the rest of the Worlds Collide literally today because it was there earlier. So somebody bought the last 40.
So now I can no longer buy Worlds Collide, is what you're telling me.
I have some of them. So if you would like to pay 100,
no, I would not like to pay 100. I'd like to give you a kick in the shin. Let's move in.
I think looking at the keyforging.com, I like the note that's at the bottom. Please note that overseas shipments are expected to arrive in November of 22. That, guys, I don't know about you, but it's the 20th of October.
Yeah. Sure
so to be able to basically have a week that, they're expecting that they have, in order to hit that timeline, they have 5 weeks to be able to get it from here to overseas, which is great. That means that they have them printed, that they're ready to go, that's around the world you can play Keyforge Adventures. I like what Draz was saying. Hey, we got a chance to go ahead and test. What is our distribution? What's it going to look like? Do we need to iron things out? I think this is great news. I also think the other news that kind of popped this week was they're adding in 2 more decks of WoW for us, for anyone attending.
Bag.
Yes. Like that's awesome news. How can we not be excited by that?
I was more hoping for a winter hat, considering you're holding a premium level event in the middle of November in Minnesota. But that's me.
I mean, you can just make an alliance of various decks and make a hat out of it.
I'll take the decks. You can
same here.
Maybe the hat will be on the prize wall. I can spend my Ember shards on it.
We have to cross a parking lot from where you're staying with your room. And honestly,
does that make it less cold outside? What does that? It's like, oh, hold on. While you guys are walking from the parking lot, let me turn on the heat outside.
Is this Siberia and it's minus 40 degrees below zero at this point? No, we're fine.
Yes, it is Minnesota. It is cold there in winter.
You live in Wisconsin. You live in Wisconsin. You're fine. We'll have shorts. People will be wearing shorts as they walk across. We're fine.
I'm not worried about the cold, and I live in Texas.
Yeah, as we see just a statue of Z because he's frozen in place.
I actually will say I've seen a little bit of a flurry from people online who are excited to be able to show up for Keyforge celebrations. People have put more things in place saying, hey, I'm going to be here. And we've seen quite a few of the...
I wasn't excited. I'm just saying it's going to be cold.
Well, it'll be cold, but we're playing games inside. Like, if nothing else, like that's what draws all of us.
I don't have my Keyforge puffy jacket. I don't have my Keyforge mittens. I don't have my Keyforge hat. Just saying, all these are free ideas, Gigi.
There you go.
There you go. Prize wall. Let us spend our oodles of ember shards.
1 million ember shards.
I do have the scarf, the Saurian scarf.
Ooh.
I do wish I had gotten the other things. I wish I had gotten a sweater and a hat and all that.
And the mittens.
But I did not.
Yeah.
There were no mittens. Mittens didn't exist. But let's get into our titular segment, Why I Suck at Keyforge. JR, why do you suck at Keyforge?
Well, this morning I woke up nice and early for ABR. So ABR is back in session. And first of all, I have to go ahead and totally give my team, not really my team because I'm just part of it, but Brick Nasty's Brawlers with our captain, Joker, the one and only AC Joker, also Vault Keeper's Joker. He's our captain. And man, I'm the only one who's lost so far, guys. Everyone else is absolutely rocking it, but I brought a knife to an absolute gunfight. So this week it's a SAS cap. So there's different, basically 2-point SAS range, and we went ahead and picked ahead of time. I got slotted in the 66, 67 SAS slot, and I was enjoying the deck that I was bringing. Nice 66, Brobnar Shadows Untamed that's coming from Coda. I actually really liked kind of what it could do with Burst. And I ended up facing this person who's kind of known. Daesung, you went 7-0 last season. And he happened to bring this deck that was DT. And I know we give DT a lot of harassment, but when I show up with a little knife, it wasn't even funny. This deck that he had played, which was Tenasseer Z Van DM, you probably actually would have heard it.
It's literally the best one that exists. Yeah.
It happens to be 67 DT, but it also happens to be the deck that he just took down. What was Joker technically saying? What was the French national?
Mm-hmm.
We'll play it against great decks, and for this event, he didn't have to play it against great decks. He got to play it against 67, and so I did forge a pity key. Let's go with that. But we had seen it ahead of time. We looked at it. And this deck it's just beautiful. It was actually nice to see it played against me. We talked afterwards. Daesung, awesome guy. I've played with him before, but double Triska, double Agung. It really fires off with Gross in Hings. Happens to have a Reaper So that's coming out of Star Alliance. And there is use and versatility in the 67 SAS that you're just drawing in so many different ways. Gross Hings with Triska being viable. There's nothing because I can't take the Tide because he just starts with it and says, I'll take the 3 chains and here you go. I just went ahead and fired off with Gross Hings in order to draw basically the deck. He also has Witch of the Dawn that's there. We can get to it a little bit faster with Waste Not. We actually talked afterwards, and with Mechabui in the Logos, he can actually go ahead and Rule of 6, the Submersive Principle. It's just a really beautiful, beautiful deck. But this is, again, where, unfortunately, SASCAP does have it does have a problem. But he was able to take down French any deck that was there. So my deck didn't. I brought a little knife and I did my best. I did my best, but bazooka or magma, lava, whatever you want to talk about, it came, and it was fun to see, but it was painful, and it was a quick game, guys.
We're crushed immediately.
Sheep, why do you have a you said you have a why?
Yep, I too suck at Keyforge because although I have been on a mission since I have joined you on this podcast, I have not convinced people not to play Heart of the Forest. So I too had ABR SAS cap, and I don't know. I think I played 64 or something, and I got Heart of the Forest by the best Heart of the Forest player probably in the world, and I lost. Yeah.
So Jason, if you'd like a spot on Team AC, we're here for you.
It
said the special section.
It was some extra special bullshit. I actually did have a line to attempt to win because I was playing a double finite rupture deck. So there was a line where I get to deck end, I use a binate, I ZYX to put it back, and then I hope I get the other one on the flip. Right? And then force him to forge when he wasn't ready for it, but I didn't get it on the flip. And then it had double. This wasn't one of the good ones with the logo suite. It was using double library of the dams just to archive a absolutely ridiculous untamed burst run. It was great.
So what I think is interesting is these are solid decks that are not Alliance. They're not created by us, but they're out there. My line was Oubliette in order to try and take out Hings or Gross so that Hamlet can't be there, but there's just so many other options. And I think what both of these matchups show is Sascap can be a ton
Nova
of
hates
fun.
us?
No. I wouldn't put Nova because honestly, Nova does a ton of work behind the scenes and has put a lot of time and effort in. But there's just so much nuance that goes into this game that is often missed. And yes, DT is not scored properly, but man, I don't blame that on an individual person. It just shows that that's the problem with Sascap. If we talk about Sascap, there's going to be some issues. We talk about Alliance, there's going to be some issues. But Heart of the Forest, this DT beast that's there, both showing up in much, much lower SAS range. And when you have Sascap, it just they absolutely shine.
And in that, what you're saying, Alliance is that extension of what Sascap is, which is here is a set of rules, and now go to your way to break
them. Yep.
Right. And that's it's not something that I have any particular love for. So.
No, but I think that the idea in a casual environment, letting it sit for a week, trying to listen to the arguments on both sides, because that's what we should do and try and be able to then provide some feedback. I think in a very local, fun, casual environment, awesome. I think my biggest issue is seeing it played in a high competitive environment where people are just going to be there trying to break it, or people are there going ahead and trying to run their amazing decks with just that extra little tier. I think the new deck that I just saw was a triple Morpheus with Restring Guntus. There you go, guys. Yep. Done.
And exhumes to get that
correct
Morpheus down.
So that should be cross set if I am 100%, unless Restring Guntus was brought in.
He's not. He was just. I mean, the only way it would have been there is if it was a legacy.
It is a legacy.
That's what I was checking. It is a legacy.
It was a legacy card.
Yeah, and that's why I was saying. So with it being legacy, it's now viable. But
welcome to the banned and restricted list.
Yeah, but how many respectable legacy Restorantus are actually in people's hands? I don't think
very
that's
small.
actually a huge concern.
No, but I think
it is on TCO, which we'll get to here when we get to there.
We'll get there.
There are 61 legacy Restorantuses in the world.
But how many are respectable, I think is what Sheep's saying.
How
many are alliance worthy?
Yeah, and how many triple and quad Morpheus decks are there?
Well, this first one here is double Exhume. Maybe this is the one we were looking at before. I don't know.
That is the one they were.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So while we're on ABR, Draz, did you play yet?
I have not played it yet. Nope. I play Saturday.
My ABR experience was interesting. I was down 2 keys, 9 amber. I had no keys, no amber, no artifacts, and no creatures, but I did win the game on my 8th turn. So that was my AVR experience this week.
Tell me more.
what
Tell me
tier?
more.
I was playing Iago. I archived a bunch of cards. I started that 8th turn with 6 Mars cards in hand, 3 Mars cards in archive, and I played Battlefleet, Key Abduction, Key Abduction, Battlefleet, Key Abduction. That was the game. And that is how you win with an Archon deck that's OTK, much less Alliance. So we will see what happens come the future.
So what you're telling me is that Sheep is just angry because he doesn't own an OTK deck. I
think so. Like, I don't understand what the big deal is. I just did it with an Archon deck.
Sheep owns AOA that can make broken stuff.
Yeah, you own Pan. I don't see what you're flipping out.
He also has 2 really good Jenka decks too.
Yeah, he does. And he shipped mine to Canada.
Well, yours wasn't.
I'm still salty about that. All right. Let's move into GG is sending out prize support for your locals. That's fun. I know our local car has he posted that here somewhere. Did he not in his Pink Bunny Games server?
Image. And I believe I'm getting the same thing. So we talked about, like, there's been correspondence with GG. They've been really busy. But now we have an idea. If I get the same thing, the pack Lokacar got was a Fuzzy Gruin, the Niffle model, the Duskrunner model, the Moon model.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a Wild Wormhole mat along with a poster.
And some 2020 trackers. Boxes, some sleeves.
Looks like
and trackers.
Bunch of the plastic trackers, which one of them, like my buddy that's coming back to Keyforge was actually looking at mine the other day. He's like, "Man, I want one of those." I was like, "Well, too bad." I was like, "I don't know."
They'll make those again, I'm sure.
Some card sleeves, and then we've got one of the prime boxes in this picture. So that I think is actually fairly attractive stuff. I mentioned it in
so
chat
much for those figures being, very, very extraordinarily limited, and that's why they had to move them.
Well, I'm sure they were.
Most people didn't get a chance to get these. I know, like, we're somewhat spoiled because Lokacar and Sheep have been running these events.
Well, no, I was saying they moved. Remember what I was talking about when we were doing the tiers breakdown? Because for the first one, I think you got the Duskrunner, and then for the 721, you got the Niffle and Moon. And I was like, why not just smush them all together?
No,
and
you didn't get the Duskrunner until the 7.
That was backwards.
Yeah. Right. Oh, it was Niffle and Moon and then Duskrunner.
Yeah,
because we had talked about Duskrunner had already been given out
a
long time ago.
But they had said it was due to limited supply, and now they're just handing them out like candy.
Well, that just means they didn't sell as many as they thought they were going to at the 720 tier.
Or they just wanted to make sure they didn't have the last, 20 people not be able to get it, right? So they wanted to have plenty of extra. Because once you go below the 420 tier, there were that 150 tier, there were how many? It was like well over 1,000 pledges, right? So they probably didn't have enough to then also do that, but they probably still have enough where it's like, yeah, we can give out a few dozen to various local situations.
And I will say, I know ABR was contacted with some prize support as well. I know that Vault Keepers. But guys, when we're talking about this, these are people who have been running throughout the pandemic. These are like groups that have been active. So I give GG some credit here for being willing to send out. I know we can go ahead and harass them about, hey, these are supposed to be limited. But the end result is, I think if we have, I just shared roughly 5 groups. Even if we have 10 to send out those 10 pieces, we saw the one that went down to KC for the event. These are.
I'm sure there's going to be more at Celebration.
Sure, but even going ahead and saying here's 10 to 20, that's a very, very, very small amount compared to 1,000 that's being pushed out. And these are groups that have stayed true. These are people who've been there week in, week out running events. So I actually like that. I would much rather get prize support out to the individuals who are playing. So I give GG credit for that.
Yeah, like getting those out to the stores is more important than the actually like game found pricing as far as like all that goes. Like like we won't talk about like the future of the game. Like the future of the game is not going to exist if people are not coming out of the stores. And hopefully, like we're going to use the pricing that we're getting from GG to host a like come back to Keyforge / Learn to Play event.
It's
And give
all
some of it
Alliance, by the way.
and give it all out there.
Like I was thinking, I could request one of these kits. I've run events twice a week now for ever, but
2 years.
I don't have. I mean, I'd just be giving out random. I mean, like, and I want to support the people who come and play with us, but at the same time, just gonna randomly hand out prizes because I don't have any structure in place for handing them out.
Yeah, you'd probably want to come up with how
So you can make
something
one.
you're going to do with it. Yeah.
I mean, like one of the drawbacks there is like that prize is not going to be going to draw in new players, though, right? Like there's
Right.
no way for you in the events we run to attract someone that is not playing already.
Keyforge invested, right? Yes,
Yeah.
I'm not reaching a. Oh, I wonder. I could be interested in Keyforge, unless there's still a few wrestling fans who listen to Wookiee and haven't converted.
It's possible. I mean, we see new people every day in the server. I mean, there's
Oh,
lots
yeah.
and lots and lots, and there's been lots of people that are like, "Oh yeah, I'm trying this out now." You know,
Mhm.
I mean, there's been quite a few that are just now like coming into the game. So I think we're reaching. You know, we're reaching a decent sized audience. I do think whether Sheep likes it or not, the fact that Alliance is a thing now has sparked people's interest a little bit. I know
Definitely.
Sheep's. I mean, the ability to customize a deck does scratch that itch a little bit. And I think the people who before are like, well, I don't get to do anything now are like, oh, I can definitely do stuff. So I think it is good. Let's move into the fire sale frenzy. Sheep. Z, how did the fire sale frenzy go?
All right, we did our double header on Wednesday of this last week. We had Throat Wolf versus Hiramgraph. Throat Wolf took the win there, upset all of our predictions, I think, and made it to the final table with a 28th ranked drafted deck. And he will be facing, which went best of 3, like went all 3 games, John Beaver over Dilly, to take the second spot in the finals, and you should be able to look forward to the next doubleheader where Dilly versus Hiramgraph will battle each other for third place, and then John Beaver versus Throat Wolf take on the top spot for first. And it is official, people. The Val Jericho meta is 100% confirmed. Both of our top 2 decks in the finals of the Frenzy have Val Jericho leading the charge. So that was really, really cool to see. And there's one MM deck and one Worlds Collide deck. And we have a high drafted pick and a fairly low drafted pick. So it is all beautiful. Like that, I couldn't have asked for a better scripted result as far as getting all the way to the finals. So we will see how that goes. We will probably end up scheduling the doubleheader for either next Wednesday, like this week, or possibly Friday. I still need to work with the crew, the people, figure out what times that will work for them. But yeah, John Beaver's local to me, so congrats there. He's going to be taking on Throat Wolf. The other one local to me now, because he moved Hiramgraph, is going to be battling for third spot over my teammate Dilly. We almost had a Houston local finals up here in the Frenzy, but it just didn't quite happen. So, but either way, I'm super pumped to see how this all resolves, and everyone has been saying that they've been having a blast and looking forward to whatever we might do next. No idea what that might entail, but we're getting closer to the times of woe, so I'm sure it will be more woe related than the decks of the past, because I think all future Keyforge, as soon as November hits, is going to be all about woe. I'm all in. Someone had a poll up, like, what if I were to buy decks? Which decks should I buy to get the best chance of a good deck? I voted for woe, which I had to write in.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm super pumped for this coming week. Drash, you're with us casting.
Yeah.
Any notes on the games?
It was a ton of fun. It was a lot of fun to see these. I think, like we were saying, the first game did not go, or the first matchup, I should say, did not go at all the way we expected. It was really fun to see these players play the decks out. The second match, I predicted, yay, but it was a great battle. It was really cool, and it's really cool to see. And if you listen and you can hear us sort of predicting not just what who's going to win and how many matches, but hey, we think this player is going to lean on this card. We think they're going to maybe even consider holding this card. This one's not going to matter as much. And then see how these players who have gotten this far, so they're playing pretty well. Sometimes they do what we think they're going to do, and sometimes they don't. Right? Like we were talking about how important the Hawk was, right?
In one of the matches,
yeah, and it was not at all used in the way that we were like. It has to be used this way for this deck to win, and I mean the deck won, and we were wrong.
Yeah, like immediately did exactly what we said not to. Won the game anyway. We're like, okay, that's why we're here and not playing. So
that's right. Those who can't teach.
What?
What?
Huh?
I think we got that wrong.
Backwards. So actually, maybe we should just the names of the decks real quick. So if you want to look them up and start thinking about and getting excited about this final. So the two in the finals, the Sov of Tersewood, TYRSWOOD, and SOV period, so abbreviated. You'll see that triple Philosophosaurus order craziness.
Yep. The Val,
with the Val, yep, and the TP transporter platform. On the other side, you've got Symphony, long-armed Rift record keeper with a full-up Sins suite. Might be missing one Sin, but it's got all the important Sins. Double EP. Again, you got Val. It's got the Zenzi, the autoencoder, the Forge compiler. Lots of and the Gateway Mark of Dis, very important.
There you go. Yep. The whole deck is combo-rific.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
I was hoping the deck was going to end up being called Symphony of Destruction, but
well,
no such luck.
It basically is that if you watch these games get played out. So come check out the final and the runner-up match, and it'll be a lot of fun.
All right, one quick announcement. AC team signups will be going up shortly, so if you would like to be a part of the AC team, Ewok is in charge of making jerseys, so any questions, ask Ewok.
What does that mean?
Yeah, tell me more.
Well, you know how there's Team SAS.
Yep.
And Team Reboot used to be a thing.
Uh-huh.
And all the other teams.
It's there.
All the other teams. AVR is a fantastic team of great players.
Mm-hmm.
AC is finally releasing our team. It's open to anyone. We love you all. Except for Sheep. But we're going to let them in. I haven't figured out.
Wanted, you Heart of the Forest playing freaks.
I love me in my Heart of the Forest.
We should require a Keyforge haiku to join the team.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Put that in the sign-up form.
All right, I will put that in the sign-up form, and we will read them on the cast.
Yeah,
we can do that. That's absolutely something. So look out for those in our Discord channel. Once I have talked to the other people and figured out what exactly we want to ask, or if we just want to sign up so we can distribute roles properly in the Discord. So, all right, guys, you ready for the new segment?
What is the new segment?
This is not Keyforge related whatsoever.
What?
I know. This is strictly for fun, and it's going to make everyone a little squeamish.
Is it Flaming Hot Mountain Dew?
Are
they sponsoring us? Is it happening?
That would be awesome. Just Flaming Hot Mountain Dew, not the rest of the brands. Just
Flaming
that
Hot one.
Just that one. So this is, I don't know if this one's going to stick around, and I know I've already disappointed Ewok. I'm sorry, Ewok, if you want to shut off right now, that's fine.
Click.
Yep. So this is the random question of the week. This is a random question generator I found online, which I thought was a lot of fun and sparked a lot of debate between me and my wife. So I figured maybe we
God.
could bring it to the cast and see how it went. You guys ready?
No.
I
It's-
suppose.
It's a very interesting question that I was posed, and this sparked a ton of debate. When you go to the restroom and you wipe yourself, do you sit or stand?
I
I'm a
sit.
stander.
You're a stand.
Sit, obviously. Come on.
Okay. So I figured this was going to be a lot less like just open the way it is, but
What do we
answers-
have to hide? We're old dads. We're good. Like, who cares? What else do you want to know?
okay, so we got one sitter, one stander. Z.
I said I sit.
Oh, you sit. Okay, so we got two sitters, one standers. I stand. So we got Ewok.
Animal.
You are the deciding factor of what is the correct way to wipe yourself.
Stands?
Stand.
What?
Hold on, I have to tell my wife. Hey, you lost. So just so it is now official. If you are a sitter, you're wrong.
Oh.
Just wanted to put
So
that
wait.
out there.
Done.
Do
Got
you
it.
Done.
do you guys also like zip then button? Like
Huh?
or something
No,
ridiculous
you
like that?
button then zip.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How can you
Yeah.
how can you zip and then button?
Wow, why would you stand?
What do you mean? Why would I stand?
It seems ridiculous.
Wait, so is it like sock, shoe,
I think we
shoe,
need to
or
just
sock, shoe?
This is why everybody tunes into this podcast.
It's definitely sock, shoe. Unless I'm
Okay.
feeling sassy, then it's sock,
Yeah.
shoe, sock, shoe.
Every once in a while, I throw it out, throw that up, and just go sock shoe.
Every
just
now
to-
and again, just keep it fresh.
Yeah, just to
How
keep it
about
real.
shoe, sock? Ooh.
Oh,
Why
God.
would you do that? Like most
He's
times,
he's
you-
from
oh,
the
you're
east
from
side
yeah,
of
that's
the
right.
country. Yeah.
This is where you've led us, Wookie.
I know. I was like, hey, this it sparked a great debate between me and my wife. My wife said I was 1,000% wrong, and the FBI is now looking at my Google history due to it because I'm like, who sits? How do you accomplish that? I didn't know.
I mean, if you really want to know, could show you.
Yeah, we'll have it on our YouTube event.
All right,
soon.
great.
Something with keyforge toilet paper. Can we get that made? I'm sure
It's
we
a
can
new
get that
kind of
made.
shredder.
Yeah, it's a new, different kind of shredder. All right, now that that's wrapped up, let's move into a little bit of more new news. TCO has now allowed you to play Alliance. Sheep's ecstatic about this, by the way.
Yeah, you know what? It's already been great. All I've seen so far is I got beat by this busted bull crap, or people going like, "Yep, that was dumb." That's been Alliance. Now, mind you, I am certainly only finding stories that support my narrative. So that is what's going on.
So what
Now, is
are you
there-
finding? You're finding nothing but OTK decks?
Yeah, and less than satisfactory experiences.
What would be a satisfactory experience? That's
Good
going to be my question
Games
to you.
of Keyforge being played.
But you are playing
Wait.
Keyforge.
Wait,
No, good games
Sheep,
of Keyforge.
Did you just say you were only finding you're playing against OTK decks?
No, I never said I never once said anything about playing a game. of
I
Alliance.
said that. I said that.
Okay.
But I asked because he said it was less than a
Good.
satisfactory experience. It's like, well, what is a satisfactory experience for you? Or is just this is
Because I played 5 games once I got home because I got
Oh,
home
you
and
got
it was
one more game
available.
till he defriends you.
I know. That's why I stopped. And I didn't run into an OTK opposing deck at all. Not really. Out of all 5 games.
This is why I'm not listening to what happened to you, because it doesn't fit my narrative.
Oh, wait, is there any restrictions in TCO right
not
now?
on TCO yet, but like
Okay.
I
Not on
played.
TCO, but
5
obviously
games.
you want to play with the restrictions that you're going to have when you go. Like it would,
Yeah.
I guess it could be just funsies to not play with the restrictions, but you're
I
going to
think-
have set restrictions when you go.
I think it'll be easy for. There are set restrictions there, I think, but
No, you
There's
can.
okay.
I think you can do whatever. Are there a set? I don't know. I
no,
haven't
you have to
played around
choose.
with a
You have
ton.
to choose a set before you build your alliance.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't played around with it a ton. I made one deck, which you are allowed to name. That's not going to get out of hand quickly. And that's all I've done yet.
Yeah. a blast. It was fun. I didn't think it was too degenerate. Out of my 5 games, I was the one playing the OTK deck, and I won all but one of them.
Oh, so it was fun when you're the one playing OTK. Got it, guys.
Those 5 people ran into an OTK deck.
Did you build the OTK
all right, what? Tell
deck,
us.
or are you
Yeah,
just
tell us what you
playing the
built.
OTK deck?
I made it with decks that I own. So yes, I formed the alliance. Like, I don't know what you're asking me.
Well, I didn't, because you own a natural OTK deck, so I didn't
Yes,
know if
yes.
you're just
I
playing the
used
natural OTK or if you actually built one.
Yeah. So I used my OTK line Mars from the house that I own. Like, I have that deck, and then I found basically just better versions of the other 2 houses, because that's what Alliance is. Like, what is the best version of this thing? And it was fun. I had a good time. And most of my matches were close, even though my opponent was not having like that kind of build.
Did you talk with any of your opponents? Do you know if they just pulled pods from wherever, or were they pulling from their own collection?
I only talked to like one, and that's because I ran into Jason, our teammate. But the other, like a couple of the ones that I played against, I feel like I had seen the pod before, and so I was fairly confident at least 2 of the players I ran into was net decking. And then one was Jason, so I actually know all of the decks he pulled from. And then the other 2 players, I feel based on the pods I was seeing, it had to be just something they're building in their collection. And one of those 2, which I was fairly confident they were using a personal collection to build, was really, really close. Like, they just came out with an Amber Rush deck, like, Dream Coda Days Amber Rush. Like, if everything in your deck is just rushing Amber, you can hit a 40 expected Amber with probably 100 deck Coda collection, somewhat reasonably. Because there's just a bunch of ways that Coda can generate Amber, and that was really, really hard to deal with.
So it's almost like you're saying that there's a meta that's shaking out.
I think
here.
there's multiple metas in an unrestricted environment, like, because obviously no one knows what it is. So like, you could have seen a bunch of AOA double Martian generosities and key abduction stuff, but when it comes down to it, I think we just said that about the Guntus Legacy. Like, even those pods existing that are like S tier almost in Alliance are also very, very rare. Like, because they, in an Archon deck alone, are sometimes good enough to make a deck. So they're already sought after. So it's hard to get.
We don't know. We know there's a ban and restricted list coming. We don't know what that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't.
We don't know what that is.
We don't know what it is, but we know it's coming.
And honestly, the most 2 dominant things that I've seen just in the chats, because people have been sharing their experiences quite a bit, and the most crazy stuff I've seen are the things that we would all assume are the most likely to hit the restricted list. Like the Western Guntus was probably one of the first cards that anyone was discussing when they were talking about Western Guntus. Like, another one that we saw a deck that had 3 or 4 Control the Weeks paired with a bunch of phase shifts. Control the Week is probably way high up on the list of possibly restricted cards. So like, a lot of the stuff I'm seeing, I think like that would be the most like unfun or whatever to play against. We won't see in Minneapolis or Minnesota.
Now, they haven't said when they're going to release that list.
I hope it is very soon, because if people like actually did want to practice this, if people did want to access the secondary market, like we're getting real close, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's getting to that point where we need to. I don't think you're going to be able to have a deck shipped to you in time and without knowing
if
what's
it
going
is
on.
this weekend sometime, I think you're fine as long as you're buying it from the US. If it is anything after this weekend, like anything Tuesday or beyond, like I think
somebody's paying for some shipping.
You're rolling the dice, or you're having it shipped directly to the hotel.
Yeah.
Was it not? I'm fairly certain that it was on the recent Help from Future Self podcast with Ghost Galaxy. So Christian and Michael, when I thought they had said that they were looking at the second, basically after that first week in November.
I heard no date.
I am fairly certain that I had heard that going back into the cast, because they had talked about that they wanted to, or was that the rules? They wanted to get out the rules.
I think they wanted to get the rules out
for Alliance. That might have
for
been it. Okay.
Alliance, like more like hammered down. But I didn't
And
hear
I'm-
anything about
Yeah,
that.
I know. Like they mentioned, the restricted list would be in the rule book, and I get that we'll have it then, no matter what. But I'm saying, like,
Yeah, what do you even bring to the event if they don't have the rules out in time?
Whatever you
I don't-
want.
I do
I don't-
wonder if they don't really care to do it early enough for you to buy a pod. They're just thinking, hey, it's sufficient for people
I'm not
to bring.
thinking about that. It
Yeah.
takes time to do this. Like they
Right.
want people to start engaging in this practice, right? Like
Right.
this is
Yeah.
exciting. We know it's exciting. Hence, like we know the TCO people did not actually want Alliance built in TCO. Like that was stated early on, and here it is because of demand. Like people wanted to see it happen, and now
people
we
wanna
have it
start
as
testing.
of today.
Like it's tough to test right now. There's a lot
Yeah.
of communities out there that just like, so like Ewok's busy, Sheep, lives an hour away from me. I can't just go and test a deck right now. I would have no idea what even like what's running well, what's running not. I'd basically be smushing 3 high sass houses into a deck and going, yep, that's what I'm playing. My biggest fear is like, so I just built an alliance, and 2 of my houses are in foreign languages. I don't speak neither Italian nor French. Uh-oh. What do I do on that point?
Are those decks you own though?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that is an issue. That's one of the questions that I wanted answered. Like as Keyforge Live, we ran the whole thing, and we are the first major event to go through the proxy system. And it worked overall very well. We do not know we know FFG was 100% against it. We don't know what GG stands, so I would actually really like an answer from GG at some point.
I would assume that they
I'm
would
adding
do
that
some sort of
to our
proxy
question
system.
list.
Yeah.
Because it went well. Like if we didn't have like proof of concept or it went horribly bad, like that would be one thing. But we held 200-person events. Well, actually, the seal didn't matter. But so we held a 100-person Archon level event where each person can have 3 decks. Across that event, I think there were 12 proxy decks, maybe more. And there was not an issue with any of the proxy decks. We actually did have an issue, multiple rules warnings during the event for the one player that was actually I guess there were 2, but a player that was running a foreign language deck because he couldn't remember which card was a mutant, and it's like that's a real thing. Like that matters. So like if you can't read Chinese, neither is your opponent. If you get draw triggers off of things that aren't mutants, like whether you're knowingly doing it or not, you're definitely cheating. Like is what it is. Like there's no other way to say this. Like it creates really weird situations, and like what you just mentioned it. If Alliance is a top tier format, you could literally sit down at a table and present them a deck that is Thai, Chinese, and French. Like,
yep.
And not that like I
That
think
could be
our
a problem.
community is great, and I have not seen a great extent of like that kind of malicious play. But that definitely would open the door for that to happen in a very big way.
So let's go into what we plan on playing for the event. What do you say, guys? So the keynotes, we know. Is anybody excited about you guys excited about the keynotes?
Yeah.
Non-alcoholic ember fluids will be provided.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
What? Non-alcoholic amber fluid?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
It's Mountain Dew flaming hot, guys. I'm ready for it.
Nah. Michael Hurley drinks coffee, so it's going to be okay.
Yeah, I mean,
All right,
him
coffee. I'm good with
him
coffee.
and Sheep will be grumpy in the corner together.
With coffee, which makes us less grumpy.
Sipping on their quick trip coffee. Just says that they're going to do events and present news and insights, so I don't know what that all involves. Somebody said awards, but I was like, awards? What awards would they be giving?
I know.
It's at the very end.
Oh,
hey, Wookie, maybe the keynote is where they tell us the restricted list.
Maybe. You just see people scrambling.
I think that's where they announce me as the new director of the company because all my ideas are the good ones.
There you go. I'm sure that's how
I'm sure that's exactly how it's
what's
going to
gonna
Come on down.
So, I guess I could probably attempt to stream that through my phone, more than likely, to the YouTube page. That'd probably be the best way of doing it through my phone.
They will have like people do it. Right.
I would assume too, but I'll be prepared just in case. So we also day one. Is this all day one? I thought they had a Saturday. Oh, they do have it split.
Mhm.
So this is Friday activities. So they will have an Alliance sealed, an Archon sealed, and then just open play. And then Unchained Decks is going on all weekend long, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not a big thing. And then Alliance sealed second Ember, and then so which one are you guys chewing? Are you going Alliance sealed or are you going Archon sealed?
I'll start.
Depends
I
where the
just
2 deck options are.
Well, isn't it? What do you mean? It's Winds of
So-
Exchange.
No, so here is where the issue comes. Right now, what they have listed is Winds of Exchange Alliance. You get 2 decks,
Yep.
and regular. Is it well,
It's
the sealed, the
sealed
other
Archon.
sealed Archon is just 1 deck, and
Yep.
so there is almost no reason to play in sealed Archon and get 1 deck versus the 2 decks because, frankly, I want to have more Winds of Exchange. So
I just ran an event though that was Alliance 2-deck Worlds Collide, and I had a blast. So even if they were 2-2, I'm playing sealed Alliance. Whoa, because that's going to be
And
super
I did
fun.
not think it improved the event, and I will stick with Archon.
Are you talking about where you played one person one time?
Yeah, it doesn't take that much data to know that it's not a
Yeah.
vast improvement.
Yes, it does. When your initial stated view from Go is meant to find a negative thing, like you weren't trying to find anything positive from the start.
This is true.
I had a positive experience with how it turned out on my deck, but that is not what everybody's going to have, and increasing negative experiences is not good.
But in my event, where there was 8 people,
Wait.
so there's
Hold on.
16
Increasing negative experience is not good. I
Yes.
mean, we
You should
said
explain.
fully
All right.
that your deck is going. I mean, you're going to have a negative experience if you get 2 junk stacks. You're going to have a negative experience anyways.
Yeah, nothing solving that. No, I'm not saying I will support sheep in that like analytic 100%.
Right. Like
There is
we
no
know that's
stall
gonna
from
exist.
drawing 2 crappy decks. It does not matter what you do
Right.
in Alliance that is going to fix it. And that's what so we had 8 people. My wife did draw 2 crappy decks and she got wrecked. There's literally nothing that could have done to change her fate. I looked at all 6 pods and all 6 pods sucked. Like it just happened. But my son's experience and one of our friends at the local had a different experience. Like one of them actually pulled an 86 Worlds Collide, and one of them pulled an 82 Worlds Collide. Both decks fired very, very well. They did its job. They picked those decks unaltered and ran them as Archon, and then everyone else mixed their decks up. I got 2 decks, Dark Worlds Collide. Both of them had Brobnar. They literally matched 6 cards in the Brobnar, which included Narps, Volcano. So those 2 pods basically
Good stuff.
go in the trash straight up. And then I ended up with a triple daughter, very fun Untamed with an okay manageable Shadows House, and I was able to take down the event. And the final match, which was me versus the 86 World Collide Sass, went all the way to 2 keys, and it was super close. No way, no how does the 86 not walk away from that event completely unchallenged out of the 16 decks that were opened at that table outside of Alliance. Yet, in this case, it ended up being neck and neck, and I won it, and that game could have gone either way. That is what Alliance does allow to possibly happen. That
I
would
think
not have
Alliance is an improvement for Sealed, definitely.
I think we need more data. I mean, honestly, you're going to go ahead and draw straws here against sheep, but we need more data, guys. And that's what Celebrations is supposed to be all about, is let's try it out. But I want to see both events run with 2 decks so that it's an equal chance if you can choose which one, if that's what we're using as a data point.
And I agree. We obviously do need a lot more data, but like even going back to Kansas City, like the top 4 decks, like all 3 decks that I had, was it 3? I don't know. Anyway, the 2 decks that I had no shot of beating any of those 4 decks a single game. I haven't gone back and looked at those 2, like the 6 pods together, to see if I would have had a better attempt at beating any of those 4 that made the top. But I don't know because I haven't looked. But I know that each individual deck that I played would never beat those decks. So, like, I don't know, just having more of a shot sometimes is, in my opinion, better than what we have had in the past. And that's mainly because of, like, one of the things that happens in Keyforge is almost every set has a really bad house. So, yes, if they actually fix that from happening in the future, it would not be as big of a deal. But you have the 43% chance to get any house, like any one house. So you have a high chance to get those crappy houses every time you play a top sealed event. And this gives you the way to get rid of the bad house based on bad design. I don't have another way to say that.
Yes, I agree. Saturday you will have Archon. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm wrestling with this. I might try the Alliance to try the experience. I've yet to play any Alliance games.
You talking about Alliance Sealed or Alliance Archon?
Sealed is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I might try it. I've yet to play any Alliance games. Like, I'm definitely not interested in Archon Alliance. Sealed Alliance offends me less. Like, and I get where you're coming from with your statement, Z, and
yeah.
I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Maybe I'll try it to see how I feel about it. We'll see.
I would probably be more in sheep's case, like corner as far as the Sealed Alliance stuff goes, if the houses were more equitable in any set that we've seen. But we've literally never seen that. In any set you pull, you can point to a house and say, I don't want that house in Sealed ever. Like, it's just always been a thing. So, like, if that wasn't a thing, like, I would be in cheap corner as far as give me 3 decks, let me pick one, let me play. But it has always been a thing. And it's hard to design this game. It really is. So I understand that on their side of things. But so I'm hopeful for the future of Sealed with the form of Alliance.
These are running at 2 separate times. No, they're running at the same time.
No, they're running simultaneously.
They are running at separate times. Yes.
Yep.
I'm looking at the wrong one. The one that is running at the same time is Alliance and Archon.
Mm-hmm.
So
did we all vote for our Sealed pick? Wookie, did you say?
I'm gonna probably play Sealed Alliance.
Yep.
I just think that's a vastly superior, especially like one deck Sealed. Oof. I don't know. Have that on a button here.
One deck Sealed is bad.
One deck. Where's my oof button? My Roblox oof button.
Talked about that last cast. I will never travel.
On the other hand, one deck Sealed, like we have played a lot of one deck Sealed, and some pretty questionable 50s and 60s stuffs can win one deck Sealed.
Most definitely. But we also are topping out, 15, 18, 20 players. I think that when you have a large pool, it just means, hey, I pulled
better
this
chance
monster.
Somebody pulls the fire.
Correct. And that's where I have an issue. Like, again, local, awesome. One deck Sealed is perfect for the week in, week out, but not when we're traveling, not when it's a big event.
I actually don't recall how recently a significantly higher SAS deck than what everybody else pulled actually won a Sealed event. I don't know if you looked, but Loka Carr opened a 91 SAS on his last, and he went 1-3 with it and Sealed with a 91 SAS deck.
On another note, if people are interested in doing this, if you do register for Archon Sealed, if you win your first 2 games in a row, you're most likely going to be a lock for the top 8.
Because there's only going to be 80, yeah.
Because there's only 14 right now. So if you are basically, like, you don't get, like, no one's eliminated.
You can't sign up for it now.
Yeah, you can't sign up for it.
So, like, I went and tried to do it today, and you can't sign up for it. It says that it'll just be done.
Does the sign up button not work now?
It doesn't work anymore. No, you can't just sign up for it. It says that it'll be done at the time of the event.
Well, but the sign up button it says enter your Keyforge Celebration ticket number, and then you'd finish.
Oh, I didn't see that, but
that's because there is still a sign up button there. But okay,
there is, yes.
So yes, if you have not signed up, please go and sign up for the different events. That would be important to give information
now.
But yeah, so win 2 games in a row. You're probably making top 8.
Maybe I should be switching over to Archon here.
I
I'm
mean,
just
that
going to
is.
do the Z, and I'm just going to sign up for both of them, and then.
I am fairly confident I am signed up for both of them because I wasn't sure which one I'd signed up for originally.
So your strategy is take 3 WoW decks, and
I'm gonna run back and forth. I'll play both.
Yeah,
of them.
there you go.
Fine.
Ooh, chess master.
Level chair.
Like Bobby Fischer level keyforge. Let's go.
Bobby Fischer level keyforge. The one we do have buying for your attention is regular Open Alliance. I don't really know what else to call that. Alliance Archon is what I believe they're calling it. And then just Archon. You guys, which one are we all leaning towards?
It's Alliance Tournament or Archon Tournament is what they're calling it.
Right, that's what they're calling it.
Yeah,
I will be
both
playing
Saturday.
I'll
Both
be
are
playing
Saturday at
Archon.
11.
Same here, Archon.
Archon.
Yeah, I have Archon, 100%.
Boo. Maybe I'll play Alliance. I don't know.
Why
You
boo?
would play Alliance, Wookie. Like that sounds.
I
perfect.
never said I wouldn't play Alliance.
So what are you going to play?
Time
is now.
I know. I haven't decided yet. TCO just released Alliance stuff, so I'm gonna figure.
I mean,
out.
you can always change your mind later.
I can.
Like, the audience wants to know.
I don't have an Archon deck at all.
You can play Pan.
Ooh, I could play Pan. Does it have Heart of the Forest?
It would be in the Shredder bin if it did.
Oh, well, maybe I'll play Pan.
Why are you not playing Rose? I mean, Rose is there, Pan's there. You have options. I do
have options.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think Rose is a competitive deck. It does punish non-DT decks from playing DT, but I don't think that could be. It's going to be competitive in a competitive environment.
Okay.
I don't think it'll hold up to your Pan. Well, it definitely didn't hold up to Pan. And I don't think it holds up to a lot more of the much higher level competitive events or competitive decks. So that's my thoughts. I don't. But then all the finals are being held on Sunday.
Yep.
Did you know? Did everybody notice that?
Yep.
Alliance, Archon, all at very well. Alliance sealed final 8 happens on Sunday. Archon sealed final 8 starts. Oh, they're going from 10 to 1. So what happens if you're the top 8 in Archon?
That's going to go 1 to 5.
Oh,
Yep.
That is. I see.
And then you'll have your awards and goodbyes that are running 5 to 6. So
Right.
if you are coming to Keyforge Celebration, which I've seen a lot of people saying, hey, they're coming out, which is amazing. That's what we want. Just hanging out with the community is always great. But it is going to be a later night.
And these times are not going. I hate to tell you, GG, these times are not what you think they're going to be. No, everybody went quiet. You think that it's literally going to be like this time to this time period end of story, and this is a cut? I don't think it's going to happen that way. You're going to have games that go to time more than likely.
I am interested in why there is a discrepancy. Like, they have 10 to 1 for the sealed finals. Wait, because those are still best of 3, right?
Yes.
Or is it just best of 1? Yeah, they're best of 3. Like, why are they different lengths?
Where are what different lengths? They both say 10 to 1.
No,
So,
like the best of 3 event that is the finals in the morning, which is top 8.
Right.
3 rounds. They're giving them 3 hours. So, all right, same structure. Archon, 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Best of 3, 4 hours.
Like 2 minutes per round to review your deck.
Duh.
Both of these should be 4 hours because you're like we are all under the assumption that a best of 3 match is still 90 minutes, right?
It is still 90 minutes, and
90 times 3 is 4.5. So neither one of these actually cover that spread.
Does that also mean that all the sealeds will drop down to 390 minutes versus your 45?
Oh yeah, because those were like 205 or something.
Correct, because of their sealed. That's why I was looking at it going, how the sealed, both of the seals showing up in a shorter period of time of 3 hours?
Yeah, because I don't
at
remember
the
what.
point you're at top 8, I don't know if you need 45 minutes to finish a sealed game anymore.
I can't disagree
Well-
with you, but 3 of them. Well, I don't know because I mean,
Maybe
if
we
think
should
back
ask
to
Drazcor and X-Ray.
Extra.
well, and that's why like you're worn out. There's going to be fatigue, especially playing more online than in real life. There's
Well,
fatigue
these
at the,
happen-
there's
these are
fatigue
happening a
at
whole
the
nother
end
day.
that
These are happening. in a whole
Hungover as
different
we're
day.
going to be.
oh,
Yeah,
goodness.
hungover might be a thing for you guys.
It depends on
might
the
be a thing.
decks. Yeah,
It
depends on
does.
decks.
I think this should have started at 9 to finish.
Well, they gonna
Yeah, those
find out
GG
quick.
guys are like, we ain't getting that early up on Sunday because they too know they're going on the Drazcor experience.
There you
And
go.
we'll also be hungover.
Let's do it.
That would be great. You think we can get some juicy tips from? You think we can take Janet out?
Well, we could get some tipsy juice. We can get
Some
that.
tipsy juice
Yeah.
Yeah.
with our non-alcoholic.
Janet is running the opposite way right now,
No, she's not. She's like
heading for the Canadian border.
She wants the Drazcor
I just hope
experience.
she's got the company card, and once we get her drunk enough,
That's
it's all on
right.
GG.
Oh, goodness.
Boom, company card.
So company card is getting us into Artiforge, and
This
we're
is
going
just-
and printing decks. Is that what I'm
That's
hearing,
right.
guys?
Turns out the company folded because they on the Drazcor experience. Oh, sorry, guys.
They couldn't pay their bar tab.
Yep.
And then we got awards and goodbyes, which sounds like this is where they're going to hand out all the.
Did you know? The
What?
awards are awesome. Like
Yeah.
so you have awards for your Archon. You have your awards for both of your seals. You have
None
your
of us are going
awards.
to be there, so why are we all over?
Well, because you have a chance for awards that can go up for facing the key Racken. You have awards for going ahead and going for the Unchained. There's awards in multiple aspects. Again, second Amber, they have a chance to be able to win, and I think some of those are being shown right away and then later on too. Because for second Amber, after the second round, Keyforge, those players eliminated are invited to join second Amber. Players may jump in at the start of any given round. There are 8 prizes that will be awarded. I don't know. I guess technically it doesn't say there whether that's awarded immediately or at the end, but I it'll be nice to have everyone there and to see some awards coming out. So
That's where I'll get my Unchained award.
There you go. There you go.
no, do not face Z.
I'll face you, Z.
Yes, all free wins
Oh
come to
goodness!
G.
Oh goodness!
Yeah, like you lose 5 Unchained games to me, I will give you a woe deck. Just kidding. Don't write that.
Just kidding. No, he just realized. Oh, never mind. No.
That's called collusion.
Is it?
No, it's a consolation prize for getting your ass kicked 5
Yeah,
times.
It's just being friendly. God, why you gotta go to
Like getting
collusion right
Jix.
away?
Like
Z, how did you magically win 5 games in a total of 10 minutes? That's amazing. I'm so proud of you.
It's not collusion.
Thank you.
It's not.
OTK, baby.
All right. That's going to do it for us this week. Hopefully next week we get some more news. I'm assuming closer to Celebration we'll be getting lots
Like a
more
restricted
news.
list.
Like a restricted list and maybe some rules. That'd be awesome.
Meh.
That's going to do it for us this week. I want to thank everybody for joining us again. Another episode in the books. Has anybody ever counted how many episodes we have?
178 or something now.
So we're approaching
Well,
200.
D House counted for us.
Oh, when did he count? Today?
No,
Or is this like 2 months ago?
no, this was very recently.
It was recently, but realize that also includes what has been pushed out main style. There's a couple that have Patreon and kind of on the backside. So
Yeah.
And then some that Wookiee just threw away.
he's like, that sheep podcast. Yeah, toss that one.
Trash.
I'm still working on it. I'm trying
Lies.
to clean it up. No, I've still got a file. When I save files, I don't typically save them in Adobe Audition because I just render them and ship them out. I have multiple save files for Sheep's Outrage rant. because of trying different methods to clean audio to get rid of that noise. I don't know where the hell it came from, and it's really irritating because I thought it was going to be easy until I found out it wasn't. So that's a thing that
Not it. Wasn't me.
I don't know who it was, but that's going to do it for us this week. Thank you all for listening. Guys, you got any final thoughts before we get out of here?
It's
Well, I
the age of
actually-
alliance.
Oh God.
Age of depression.
Oh no, I'm excited for WoW or Woe, whatever. And I've just checked. This is actually my 51st episode on Archon's Corner.
Nice.
Very cool.
Make half century. No, I'm excited for DT. Keep playing in real
You're
life
excited for
online.
DT?
No, sorry, for ABR. But I'm looking here at DT again. It was a lot of fun to be able to play. They saw our French Grand Championship. I couldn't take them down. So someone else in ABR, do it. Represent. You got to stop that streak. But no, it's fun playing Keyforge, and I'm excited to be able to see everyone at Keyforge Celebration. It's gonna be great.
KFC.
KFC.
Not
I wanted to say
KFC.
it. I couldn't do it.
It is KFC.
Yeah, I did order us
KFC.
business cards.
Oh, yeah. So look for those.
AC business cards.
They
So
double as Doom counters.
they do. That is
They
true.
do. So look out for those.
Some AI generated art on the back. Yep.
I would like to say it was not my art that they went with.
No, your art sucked. Your art was
My
so bad.
art was charming.
It was
Charming.
something. That's for sure. You should have signed it. Maybe he would have put it on the back then.
There you go.
But we'll see y'all next week.
Happy Forge.
For John and prosper.